All right, welcome back. You know how I do it on this channel. I leave the cards out from the night before. Then I come back to it the next day, and I decided I was going to just do the reading with what I found, and then we can go into our new reading. I like to leave them out because sometimes you see things differently with fresh eyes, right? So we've got this Rolling Stone character here. This can be a person or it can be a situation. Like it's just rolling down the hill so fast that you can't really stop it, right? Or it can be a person who is a Rolling Stone. You know that song, My Papa Was a Rolling Stone? So in this case, it is a person, and this is a person that the collective has been dealing with. They are having somewhat of a shock. It can be looked at as the Tower card, but it is a shocking situation because they're juggling right now. They're juggling how they see themselves. They're juggling with their new thought process of things. And for them, that is difficult because they've always been this certain kind of person, you know, just moving on to the next, and whatever goes, goes. So this person looks at themselves in the mirror and they notice a change in themselves. Now, I don't know what kind of change that is. I don't know if maybe they're not feeling well. Maybe they're sick. Again, like I said before, maybe it's just a thought process change that's causing them to see themselves differently. Maybe there's a lot of more growth there, especially because it's facial hair and that grows. And then you've got the butterfly, which has to go through a transformative phase before it can reach the point to where it can fly away. And they're having thoughts about it. Maybe their thoughts are more of a butterfly thought than a caterpillar thought. Now, looking back, in previous card pulls that I had done, there was a cocoon that had come out a few times. So maybe that person was kind of in that cocoon space. Now, granted, keep in mind that this can either be the other person or it can be you. You just want to put it where it fits. On the next line, we've got the number 10. The 10 symbolizes the finish and the re-beginning of a new phase. So you finished one kind of stage and you're going into a new one. Then with the Sprout card, something new is on the horizon. Again, it could be those thoughts that are sprouting through the surface. Instead of being a surface level person, maybe they are seeing things more on a deep level or a spiritual level, or maybe they even see themselves as needing oxygen, right? Because they've got that pest card there. They've been drained and they've been pestered by something, and it could be this mentality of getting it where they can and just kind of going at it, for lack of better words. You know how rabbits, they just have pregnancy after pregnancy after pregnancy, and they just keep on. But something's growing here. Now, either perhaps you're seeing this lion get their flowers. Perhaps this lion is what started this growth in this person in the first place. Notice we have the sprout of one thing, and then now we've got a full bushel of flowers here. Now, this lion, as I said in the previous reading, has the green eyes, so that is they're a healer in nature. They just want to heal others. They want to, on the other hand, it could be green with envy as well. Maybe the rabbit or the Rolling Stone is seeing all of these blooms going on in this other person's life, who may be considered a black sheep, and they're green with envy about it. They're like, why, I'm a prince, you know, you kiss a prince. I mean, you have to, how many frogs are you going to kiss before it turns into a prince? You know what I mean? With that being said, sometimes you got to take a step back and consider whether this frog is even worth kissing in the first place. Right? Sorry about the noise in the background. So the Baa Baa Black Sheep maybe is taking a stance back and is like going back to the farm and saying, you know what, let me go ahead and reconsider all these things. You see the doors are closed, so they're on the outside. Let me take a look from the outside on this situation about this frog, perhaps. And this sheep is noticing the evil eye. Maybe the sheep is noticing that whoever this frog rolling stone is evil eyeing them because they are in balance. This is an actual bird. That is a male bird and a female bird all in one bird. And it shows the different sides of the coloring on each side, because you know how the male birds are a lot more vibrant than the female birds, because the female birds have to protect the eggs inside the tree or inside the nest, so they got to blend in more. So this balanced person who's been getting this evil eye, whether from this person or, you know, part of their show, is noticing this person is balanced. Noticing that the bowl is empty. Unconditional loyalty, taking care, nourish, fill, empty, needs attention. So they're balanced, but they still need some kind of attention. Maybe they came in to try to give this person some attention. But this black sheep is not celebrating the fact that this person came in to give them attention. So they're like looking at it like, what in the world? I don't understand. Here I am coming into their world and nothing. There's no celebration. They're just not acknowledging it. And it's making this person frustrated and having to face their karma, because they chose that they wanted to smile first, cry later. So before, when they were smiling about their whole scenario and their old Rolling Stone get down, now they have to cry about it. Not mentioning the fact of why they were really coming in is because of this elephant in the room that's getting exposed. The universe is going to come in and provide a sweet love, like pour sweetness out on this person, providing them with a silver spoon on the new day. Mind you, I did this last night, so maybe the new day is today. Or because timing is not known, really, it can be on any new day, any new morning. Maybe, you know, they're realizing all of this the next day, like, wow, I really messed up something really good because the universe was trying to give me this gift, and I really messed it up. So on that note, there could be a communication coming in about it while you're enjoying your coffee. You never know. It could be this message coming to the realization, like, you know what? Maybe you're realizing during your coffee cup that you've got gifts of communication. Let's get into the new reading, shall we? It always surprises me when there's like one card upside down when all of the other ones are right set up. I guess I'm going to have to put my coffee cup down because I have to mix these. So first, I like to mix in the ones that we just did in hopes to not have to have the same story. I keep seeing all the same cards from earlier, and I'm like, do I need to make more cards? Because this is, the mirror. Maybe someone's mirroring you or trying to act like you, or you need to actually take a look in the mirror. You know that one song, Michael Jackson, The Man in the Mirror? I don't like when all these cards are all together that don't have the covers on them. I need to get more slips. The little plastic sleeves. That'll probably make things go better. Look at how they all just conjugate together. I guess there's a lot of them in there that need them. All right, enough of the sidebar chat. Let's go ahead and get into what is being said. That kiss again, folks. Maybe that person is still thinking about that kiss and that toolbox. Trying to gain clarity in a situation. Someone may need to get hydrated. Okay, I'm going to turn that over because I don't know what the rules are. Someone's just playing games with their own health. I think maybe someone, I don't want to say it, but maybe someone did something and put something in someone's water to cloud their judgment, so they weren't able to use their tools. I had a dream that a coworker of mine tried to boop me in the mouth, go boop, with her finger on my mouth. And they always say don't accept any food or drinks while you're in dream state, because that is a surefire way, if anyone's going to try to get you spiritually, that's how they're going to do it. So you always want to refuse that. And yes, you can do that. So we've got this drain. Maybe someone's trying to drain a new beginning. I always say I'm going to wait till I pull all the cards out before I start talking about them, but I always can't help myself. There's that new day again. I don't know why the kiss is connecting me to the fireworks. It's like they were hoping that this kiss was going to create fireworks and get you from point A to point B. Or get you to move or something. We've got Mirror again that came out in Zen. Either someone's lazy or someone's making some money and their resources are light. That's shocking. Perhaps you have toast in the morning. Oh, and that being said, they say that you shouldn't do your laundry and take a shower at the same time because they kind of cross one another in how they're built or something, and then you can actually get an electric shock while you're in the shower. So be mindful of that. We've got a lot of light. Look, light, electric, and then we've got a light bulb. So perhaps whoever this snake is, if it's a person, or it could be a shedding of skin and starting anew. And when they shed their skin and become anew, they are so excited about it, right? Because they're seeing all these pretty scenes and stuff and all the possibilities that are ahead of them and during this new day. Looking into the mirror for balance, your Zen and balance, peace of mind, loaf. So perhaps someone wants you to have a peace of mind, but then they want you to be lazy about it because they think you've already achieved it. So they're trying to use mirror magic or something in order to, considering it's a light bulb, like, you know, in order to get you to be lazy. Perhaps something is shining light on this situation, like your gifts. Maybe you've got gifts. Maybe someone's going to give you a gift. Maybe they're going to claim that the gift or the idea that you had was their idea and they gave it to you. Gauging the temperature in a situation. Maybe it's a hot idea. Spiritually led. 3 is, for me, is the Trinity, Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit. or Holy Ghost. 3 could also be 3 people. It could represent days, time. Maybe it's a hot idea times 3. Ooh, tornado. Notice the gold behind the card here on 3, and then we've got the gold and the tornado here. Tornadoes are, of course, a natural, could be a natural disaster. Could just be stirring the pot, causing a problem, causing chaos. We've got the electric card here and a tornado during electrical storm, perhaps. This tornado happens. Consider we've got a light bulb here with the idea, and that connects to the mental, the mind. Perhaps someone's having a tornado in their mind. And we're going to measure that. They want to measure this unidentified phenomenon that they're dealing with, and they want to cut it. They want to cut it or disconnect it forever. Ruler can also be, I'm thinking ruler like a head of a country. Maybe a head of a foreign country. Is trying to connect this infinite viewpoint of the rose-colored glasses or lenses. And maybe that's the way that they think they're going to cut these gifts off from this person, is if they can delete their perspective on things as being so caring and kind and everything's rosy. What's the pros and cons of that? They're making a list on how that would be, what would happen if they were to do that. Maybe they're making a list of this person's gifts, ideas, thought processes, daily routine, their positive attitude with the glass being half full, snow globe. You can still see, and you can still see things as being beautiful while it's cloudy in your world. This is this person's toolbox. To put beside more information, interruption of thought, ADD, or add. So this is like a little sidebar. So while all this is going on and this person is being reckless and taking a gamble with things, mind you, they're being drained in the process. They're showing up as a snake. They're trying to provide a light show. They're trying to make things seem like one way. Maybe it has to do with something overseas. Consider we have this ruler in another world. And they've got to take a look at that. And they've got to make an assessment and take inventory. Is there something to this rose-colored glasses situation? The ruler is in the midst of a situation what's causing chaos for them, and they're like getting cut off from maybe their own relationship or their own intuition. Infinity, masculine action, doing. So they're trying to cut this person's viewpoints out. They're the way that they view the world. Doll. Maybe they call someone doll. Maybe they like to play with people. They play games. I mean, is there a pro and a con to having a viewpoint of an innocent? Is being naive such a bad thing? I mean, once a doll, always a doll, right? You shouldn't have to change that. And maybe this person is looking at this person and saying, you know what? That person has been through so many things. They're so gifted. They're spiritually connected. We can't cut them off from the way that they are. They can't cut them off by how they see things. That is in their toolbox. They know how to maneuver through situations that are, I'm trying to use a different word than cloudy, but situations that you can't see through, that are not transparent, like water would be. So whether they are through a situation that they can't see through, whether they're in a situation that is transparent, perhaps this doll is a transparent person. That's just how they maneuver. In balance. Trust that everything's going to work out. And they're measuring these foreign ideas while in the midst of their tornado. And they're thinking maybe there is something to this. They're trying to take the doll to the circus. And create red flags in their life. Or maybe they're seeing all of this as a circus and they're like, you know what? This doll here, how she seems to be, there's red flags there. And maybe that's because they just don't understand it. It's foreign to them. They don't understand it. So they take it as red flags instead of what it is, which is love. Universal love. Love for all. Infinity of love. You love who you love, hence the missing hands. It's out of your hands. See how the hands are missing? You love who you love. Whether anyone's of different religion, background, belief systems, orientation, you just love who you love. You can love your animals, of course. You love who you love. How is that a red flag? Ice? Maybe that's part of the circus. They're trying to ice this person out. Slow down, stand still, changed form, solid, cold, refreshing, frigid, stuck, frozen. Maybe this person who is doing all of that is trying to hold on to this person's love and create situations for them where they don't find love anywhere else because they've created a circus for everybody else they ever get involved with. And I don't know why the list, the pros and cons list, brought me to a dating profile. So they want to create a circus when it has to do with the dating. They want to keep it frozen in time and play games. They want to be the only royalty in this person's life. So they play all these games to make sure that they're going to be the only one. That is so funny. Did we have the frog here? No, we didn't have the frog. I would have laughed if we would have had the kiss, the frog, and the crown. Wouldn't that have been funny? Carriage upside down. So in the right side up, it means putting the horse before the cart. Where is the horse? Not going anywhere. Stand still, empty dreams. With that being said, perhaps there are dreams that are on the way. I just had another thought that someone may need to cut the way that they look at things and be more realistic about them. To take a step back and not play child's games. And actually take a strong, hard look at the situation and the facts that surround the whole circus show. And what caused the red flags? Did you pay attention to the red flags? Or did you discount them? Did you give love? Or did you not? What's in your toolbox? Hammer takes work. Your toolbox. You put a hammer in your toolbox, you have to work at it. A lot of times people don't understand that. They just continue in life and just be who they are. They don't mind being a red flag. Or they think that they have to be a red flag because that's just who they are. But that's not the case. I don't know why I'm getting choked up about it. I just think it's so sad when people don't understand that they don't have to live that way. Sorry. Sorry, not sorry, right? I'm not going to say sorry for caring. But perhaps the kiss was this person's toolbox. Maybe they thought that's what they were meant to do. But it takes work. It takes a lot of work in order to be able to continue to love after all the red flags and not become cold-hearted and not play games and to stay in the regal stance that you were gifted. We have a choice in this life. How are you going to live your days? How are you going to be remembered? You got to look at yourself. And I think that's why I got emotional, because I know the work that I've done and the things that I've been through. And I know the person in my past I had high hopes for. I thought if I loved them enough, they'd want to live there instead. They'd want to live in a state of love instead of where they were, where money was all that mattered. And that was in their toolbox, was the kiss. They used it to manipulate and to cloud situations and make it seem like it's all pretty and stuff on the outside, when on the inside, they couldn't see. Instead of hydrating a situation, they gambled it. Rest in peace. The death card in regular tarot is the death card in regular tarot is transformation. So it's an ending of a situation and a beginning of a new one. Perhaps this person is working towards the transformation and they're detoxing. Maybe they have done some work and now they want to come back. And they're wondering, do you still love me or no? Or perhaps whoever this is detoxing from this stuff and doing the work, finding the transformation, detoxing from me for even asking or even wondering, did you love me or did you not love me? But honestly, does it matter? Maybe this person is still toying with the idea if they love themselves or not. They might come in and ask her to go on a cruise. Take some time out. Take a vacation near water. When I'm looking at the bus, I see education, of course. I also see institution. I also thought getting thrown under the bus. Surrendering to the situation, surrendering out of the situation, surrendering and giving it up to a higher power. Or they're wanting this person to surrender to them. Perhaps they want to drop the mask. And come in and be balanced. And make up for all the things that was done in the past. But that would be looking at rose-colored glasses again, right? So we don't know until the actual truth comes out about it. We could all wonder or consider or pose ideas or thoughts. But in the end, balance is the true showstopper, right? Respect or credit due, mask, costume, catfish, drama, fronting, theater, play, concealed, save face, hide behind a mask, not dealing, illusion, leaning to assist, to keep something in position, to support something. It's also short for property, propeller, proposition. So maybe they're going to come in and maybe they're going to surrender this illusion of balance or surrender the drama. Maybe someone's learning of that. And they have to find that balance again with the love me not, and the Zen. Gavel, stability, balance, contracts, fair. They want to come in and make it fair. They want to put the game down, take their mask off because it's draining the snake. And they want to come in and bring balance. And we've got feather, spiritual messages, birds, flight, being light as a feather. They want to lighten their load and they want to balance the scales. Bottom of the deck, key actually is the next card and an asterisk. Look at the fine print in your decisions. Mind over matter. Is it a head or a heart decision? And 11. Could be a twin flame.